Welcome back to Horizon Zero Dawn Part 8. So, in the last episode we cleared out that corrupted zone. And it looks like we never talked to her, so we're going to go do that real quick. Now, while we're on our way, I will say that I'm a moron, and I completely didn't save the audio that I recorded for this episode, so I'm doing this Mystery Science Theater style.
Are you Salai? Jan said your niece may have come through here. Nicole.
I've got nothing to say about that.
Please, I only want to help. I'm a seeker headed north. Jan wanted me to help find her. Anything you tell me stays between us.
I gave her supplies for the journey. She was headed for Day Tower looking for Zaid. Nothing I could say would stop her.
Is there anything you can tell me about Day Tower?
It's a Karja fort, right at the border. Bastards used to gather Nora captives there, so they could ship them to Meridian for slaughter. I told Nakoa not to go. What's a lone Nora gonna do there? But she wouldn't listen. All she can think about is finding Zaid.
What do you know of Zaid?
He's a rabid animal, a murderer. The worst of the Red Raiders. Killed my brother while poor Nakoa watched from the shadows. Even as I begged her not to go, part of me wanted her to. I need him dead as much as she does. You can't imagine what it's like. He mutilated my brother. And yet he walks free among the Karja.
I understand. Better than you think. I'll look for Nakoa when I reach Day Tower.
I'm not sure you can reach it. I've heard they closed the gates because of this corruption among the machines. But Maria might know more. Just don't mention why you're asking.
I won't. I promise.
And we already talked to Maria, so we already know what's going on with that. We're not really going to bother with it at the moment. But I think at this point I decided to go do the first bandit camp. I'm getting rid of these awful exclamation points. I don't know how anyone deals with leaving them there. Now we're just checking out some of the more details of the grazer that we scanned at the end of last episode, as I didn't do it in the moment. Yeah, here, this is when I decide bandit camp time.
Wild. Our family and friends.
And there's that video skip. So at least my audio won't be out of sync on this one. But I'm definitely not gonna just record and not talk and then, yeah. Here we're kind of testing out our new ability that we got last episode. This is our short roll, and that's our long roll, and that's going to help us out as we get a little bit further into the game. Start fighting more dangerous machines.
Snow's got a bite out here.
And I'm being a little cautious. I heard the machines in the distance there, and we still don't really have any stealth armor or mods, so... and we don't have the ability. And it makes our sprinting quiet. We'll get there. I think that's the next thing I'm going to end up getting. Now, of course, sitting here, getting stuck on rocks. Swimming in this game, obviously, is not a big part of it. And most of the time, when you do end up having to do it, it's kind of annoying more than anything else.
Clara spoke of a bandit camp and some metal ruins. That must be the place there. Best keep an eye out around here.
And this is a ancient vessel. It's another collectible that we can trade for, it says valuable rewards. I don't remember them being particularly valuable, but, you know. We'll collect them, we'll trade them in.
I'm glad you came.
You're glad. Why?
Call it a shared interest. And call me Nil. Look there, those old rocks. A bandit clan squats under them. Disturb the rocks and they'll come wriggling out. Worms that they are.
Bandits. Why have they come here?
The Nora are in trouble. Rumors spread like blood. With no braves to guard the border, killers hungry for sport slip right through. My partner and I shadowed these scum for days. Good tracker, but he went on ahead without me. We talked about this kind of behavior. Still, I understand. Leave it too long, your fingers itch for the bowstring. Say, how about you and I work together? Kill them all.
I don't know you, and I have no reason to trust you.
Trust is a rare egg to find, isn't it? I'm just a traveler, with a bow, concern about the state of these lands, and a missing partner.
I don't think you're just anything at all.
Let me put it another way. Are you a bandit?
Of course not.
Then you have nothing to fear from
I don't need your help to clear out some bandits.
me. Alone. That's exciting. Don't worry. If they kill you, I'll finish them off before they can make a cup of your skull or no nonsense like that. That's the alarm. Let them sound it and more will come running. It's a gift. And if you're the heroic kind who needs a little extra, there's the captives.
Alright, we're gonna leave Nil behind. We don't really need him. We're gonna take this camp by stealth. And he's actually not bad to have with you if you're just gonna go in guns blazing, or arrows blazing, I guess. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna take it slow and we're gonna play it safe, so we're gonna take a different approach. The bridge isn't exactly a stealthy way to get there. So we're gonna come up here and we're gonna start luring guys over. Give him a quick stab. And nice thing about the focus, especially in these bandit camps, you can kind of mark and have a visual indicator of where a lot of the enemies are. Now this guy, that little extra circle that's around his yellow question mark icon,
we got a cold one.
that means he found the body. And so he's not responding to the lure call anymore. He's responding to the fact that he found the corpse. And he did warn his friends, at least the ones that could hear him. They were relatively close, so they could hear him, and so they're kind of on the lookout for me as well. That's why I'm just kind of hanging out, chilling, waiting for the rest of them to give up a bit. And I figured I was far enough away from everyone where they wouldn't quite see that happen. Now, another thing on Ultra Hard, if you use lure call when they have that.
Come out, I'll make it
Oh, I messed that up real good. I forgot about that. But if you use lure call when they're already looking for you, then they'll instantly know where you are and just absolutely kill you. And I just saw that guy as I was out in the open looting that corpse. Luckily he didn't see me.
I thought.
Or she. I'm so used to talking about the machines. And she found a different corpse.
Dead. Now what?
And at this point I really want to just sneak forward and stab her, but she might see me if I do. So again, I'm just playing it safer. I'm not too interested in fighting the whole bandit camp at once, especially if one of them manages to sound the alarm.
Looks like I'm clear.
Must have been the wind.
Now, honestly, I'm getting pretty lucky
Might have trouble.
throughout all this. And I tried to do a lure call on that one to get her to actually jump down from her tower and come find me. Because sneaking over to the tower to climb up it is going to be difficult. And at this point, I wasn't sure if one arrow to the head would actually kill this person. And if I shot them and it didn't kill them, again, I could have a much bigger issue here. And maybe even regret not having Mill with me. And they're looking right in my direction. Or she's looking right in my direction. And she's already suspicious. No, she's not, but... yeah, at this point I'm just trying to decide... And that freaked me out, so luckily that's fairly silent. But at this point, I'm just going to shoot her in the head and hope for the best. Because I know I can't actually get up to the tower. And the headshot did kill her. Well, I'm pretty happy about that. I'm just trying to mark the enemies so I know where they're at as I'm moving throughout the area. And doing some looting. These guys are... Human enemies in this game tend to drop that slag shine glass and desert glass. And you can trade it in Meridian for... I don't even remember what it was, really. Has me trying to find my potion pouch upgrade and not being able to find it because I'm kind of dumb. I'll take you back to the fact that I'm recording this audio after the fact. It would be smart to just cut that out of the video, but it's too much work. Oh, I figured it out now. I'm still short a couple metal vessels, so we'll come back to it. In the meantime, we're going to do a little bit of looting. We're going to climb up the backside here just for the sake of stealth.
They've set up an alarm. Don't want them to use it.
And that is absolutely true, Aloy. So what we're going to do here is we're going to... There's one guy that's kind of in the way of that alarm, but he never moves and his back is to us. So we're going to go up and stab him and then try to destroy the alarm. And at this point, I'm just kind of marking enemies, so hoping no one will sneak up on me and find me. As if I die and then draw at any of this, I pretty much have to start all this over. And, at that point, I'd probably start the whole recording over because then that person heard or saw something. And now I'm kind of freaked out, just trying to get away, getting stuck. And while we're waiting for her to lose interest, there's plenty of time to mark some more of the enemies. So now the alarm's destroyed, they can't use it, so even if shit hits the fan, we're gonna be okay. For the most part, at least there won't be any more than what I already have to fight. And we're just getting to a safe spot, or a relatively safe spot, where I'm not going to be seen as easily. making absolutely sure that we're gonna get that shot off right. Marking
Coming
some more
down steady as a
enemies. Some of
drumbeat.
those enemies got unmarked because I got too far away from them. Once the focus loses sight of them, it doesn't hold on to them anymore, which is a little bit unfortunate. But also from a game perspective, I guess it makes sense. It's fine. So we're gonna sneak around to the other entrance and get a different approach to this. Now there is a person up in that sniper tower, and I forgot
Still
that it
sneaking
was even a
around.
thing up until all about right there. Oh, there's someone right above me. Thankfully, they were looking in a different direction. Now, unfortunately, somebody saw me do that. And in the interest of time, I didn't want to just run away and go back to my stealth. And I thought, well, I can probably take care of this. Okay, and the first person I actually got the headshot on my first try. And now, as you can see, I'm missing horribly. I'm at least landing the shots.
This.
For the most part. I say that and then miss 2 in a row. But without getting the headshot, it still takes 5 arrows to kill them, so... bit of a pain. That's okay. And everyone else is too far away to really get involved in this fight. Thankfully. Then grabbing some berries. Really, it seems like resource management is the biggest, or one of the bigger kind of important aspects of this. And we're gonna try to sneak up top here and clear some of these guys out.
Back could still be out there.
We don't really have any grass to hide in, but we did manage to sneak up on that guy.
Make them
pretty good.
bleed.
At this point, I'm just
Get it together,
trying
you
to be happy that I don't really seem to be getting overwhelmed
I'm not here.
at the moment. And rolling does kind of not work great in certain areas. But that's okay.
They must be the bandits' prisoners.
We're not going to rescue the prisoners. They'll get
about to have
rescued
some
as we
fun.
finish off the bandit camp. They're not going to stay there forever. And he saw another corpse, which screwed up my lure call, and now someone else is coming up behind him. And I was hoping they wouldn't.
Here's a trick. Drink until you can't taste anymore. Then you eat.
So he's going to turn away just enough to give us the opportunity to do that. And then we're going to come right on up behind him and someone else saw me do that. I didn't know that window was there. I kind of gave up on trying to kill this guy in this way. It's just, you know, he's got the high ground. I don't really have an angle. It's a lot easier when they just come down.
She's gone!
Down to my level.
Come on, win! Grass won't save you.
And at this point, I know this is the last guy.
Here we are!
Somehow he spotted me even in the grass immediately. I'm not too sure how that happened, but he's the last guy anyways. We lost a little bit of our video footage there for whatever reason. I didn't even get a trophy in that moment. I don't know why it does that. I am sorry. Luckily, it's only a couple of seconds at a time, but... Oh. Wow.
May I speak with you?
It's even worse than I thought it was. Anyways, for now we're gonna go loot all the guys we killed that we didn't have a chance to loot before that little mini cutscene kicked in. There's some supply caches up in this section here. Oh, excuse me. That generally have a lot of good high valuable things in them. Usually it's resources and things of that nature, but it's also things we can sell and get some shards for. I had quite a few shards just kind of sitting there as well, so... And this ended up actually being a lot more lucrative than I thought it was going to be when I started doing it. I wish I had done it sooner, realistically, but I'm kind of glad I did it now as well.
The strongest lie dead and wounded. The machines are frenzied. Only the goddess can save us now.
And we'll head back and we'll talk to the guy who was damn near begging me to talk to him a second ago.
Seeker, would you lower yourself to speak with me?
Yeah.
I'm honored. All-Mother be praised.
Are you all right? Is there something you need?
Yes. My friends and I watched you clear the bandits out of this camp. We're glad. They would steal from us, chase us through the night laughing. We're outcasts, not braves. Almost defenseless.
Where did you all come from?
Some of us have wandered the sacred lands for years. As for me, the village I grew up in was burned in the Red Raids. I'm ashamed I wasn't there to protect them, but I was an outcast long before the Karja came.
How did you all come to be here together?
You wonder how we speak to each other when the law forbids it. But what hope do we have here, outside the embrace, alone?
I wasn't judging you. I was an outcast once.
Forgive me. You're right to ask. I convinced them to speak. I told them we were only sentenced to be outcast, not to die out here.
An intelligent approach. How did you come to be an outcast?
I was a fool. I refused to do what I was told. Never went hunting when I could sit under a tree instead. I argued with my family every step, picked fights with other braves. One day, such a fight grew fierce. I got a lucky hit, an unlucky one. He went down, and there was no one left to speak for me. I deserved to be an outcast.
You seem different from the person you describe.
I hope to be. We are all outcasts, but we need to stay together to survive. This camp we once hated could serve us well now. Would you let us stay here, even if it flies in the face of the matriarch's laws?
Of course, by all means.
Oh, I'd hoped you'd say so. You're an inspiration to us. Thank you.
Yeah, we're pretty great. And then here, we're going to go through and sell off all this stuff that we don't really need short term. So that's 190 shards worth of glass, 12 times 25, that stuff. Those are ancient chimes, otherwise known as keys. Yeah. But that ended up jumping us up to 1,300 shards, so we start looking at... That's what I want right there, that Norasila Hunter. Armor. That'll make getting around the open world a lot easier. Just kind of looking through my modifications there. I did get some metal vessels out of the thing, so now I can carry more potions. That's that quiet sprint we're going to be going for once we get a couple more skill points. That will also make traversing the open world a bit easier. And we left a potion on that guy, and now we can carry it, so might as well grab it. We're going to leave the one in that treasure box alone. That way we can fill up on potions from other sources, but then still have that one there. If
I'll admit, at first I
I
felt slighted by your selfishness. But you know, I'm glad I stayed to work. Every kill you made, I pricked my fingers on an arrowhead just to feel part of things.
You were keeping score? What's wrong with you?
I saw you were preoccupied.
I didn't find your partner.
They killed him. I hardly feel surprised. He was already getting cocky when we carved through the last bandit camp. I thought he and I were agreed. Only enjoy the killing as much as the challenge. No great loss. Nothing in the wilds I can't handle, just me and the voice of our teeth here.
Your bow has a name?
Yours doesn't?
You're not just a traveler. That armor was fitted for you, and the way you hold your bow.
I said a concerned traveler. I was a soldier, but I was a soldier longer than there was a war, if you follow. Where the arrowhead passes between armor and skin, that's the place I belong. So I make opportunities to find it. That's right, coming home.
Have you ever thought about hunting machines?
They don't get that look in their eyes.
Did bandits wrong you somehow?
They wrong us all. They live filthy lives, so they have to die that way too.
So you hunt them down to help others?
No. For sport. I can't wait for wars anymore. Life's too short and the thrill of death too sharp. If you kill a tribesman, there'll be retribution. Hunt a boar, they complain if you waste the meat. But bandits, they're vicious. They always put up a fight, and no one cares if you kill them.
I guess you're doing the right thing for the wrong reason.
I'm doing what I love. And what could be wrong with that?
We're done here.
Here? I'm afraid so. But we live in a world of ruins, and bandits are drawn to them like infection to a wound. You wouldn't let that infection set in, would you? I'm sure we'll meet again.
Maybe, if it can't be helped.
If we pass each other by, we'll know it by our love.
Nil's a pretty great character. He's definitely one of my favorite side characters in this game. He is fucking crazy, for sure. There's certainly no doubt about that. But, he's still a pretty great character. I can't help but get the feeling that he probably jerks off to us killing people. But you know what? We don't have to think about that. I was kind of poking around the map and just seeing, trying to decide what I want to do next. And we'll decide to go for this. We'll find the missing Braves in Devil's Thirst. And we'll find some,
Stocking up?
I do wish there was a better, a more interesting way to fill up the herb pouch. It's probably, by the time it's all said and done, probably going to be 3 or 4 hours of me just picking stuff up, if you know, combine it all together. I gave the fox a quick kill with the arrow just so I could make another 10 and happy at my max and all nice and efficient and everything.
But I tan the this leather well. It'll keep.
I was just reorienting myself a little bit.
The battle took place here. But who won? Brave arrows in these machines. Must have caused a stampede. These machine tracks lead into the ruins, along with human footprints.
Yeah,
must have caused a stampede.
if you are focused in on your focus and then kind of hit a little ledge like that, it pulls you out so she can climb. I guess she can't do both at the same time. It's fair enough, I suppose. So in here is 2 sawtooths, which apparently is the plural. I can only imagine how many discussions there were at Guerrilla Games about that. But now we have our explosive wires for our tripcaster, and these are going to come in handy.
Wherever these machines are made, could find a way to override them there.
And we are going to have to listen to these guys kind of talking, looking for help constantly while we're trying to
Someone still there?
take these guys out. Now this is going to cost me a lot of resources.
Let's get
It's
this over
5
with.
plays per 2 wires. And I'm definitely going to be down blaze from this fight, even though these will drop more blaze. They're still pretty expensive to make, but they're also very, very good, and they allows me to take one of these out without actually exposing myself. Now, if there's only one of them, I could have run up and stabbed him with my spear. But with the other one there, if I tried to do that, he would absolutely annihilate me. There's a couple of watchers in the distance. They're not going to come over here. And really the biggest thing is I don't want to get into a long protracted fight with 2 sawtooths. I might win, I might not. Almost certainly wouldn't, really. But the first one's down. Trying to get his tracks to come up so I can see where he's actually going to go, so I can lay down my tripwires for him. But if you remember the last time we fought a sawtooth, they're pretty dangerous, they're pretty deadly. So we're going out of our way to be a little on the safer side. Later on, when I get more handling on this thing, it's going to be a little bit easier to actually place the wires. A little bit quicker to place them. As it is.
Quiet now.
Gotta be a little bit more careful. We are going to get a little bit reckless here. I kind of wasted a couple of wires here, thinking that he would be able to walk into them, but he kind of can't with his path the way it is. And that ended up hitting that rock, and I didn't expect it to, and then it hit the ground at the closest spot that I wanted it to. And I just called him over. But we can critical strike him. We can run up and do that. That's a good, easy, free 140 damage. I kind of panicked a bit here. And he charges me, but he took himself out on my last wire.
Safe to come out
We
yet?
got a good tear coil. We're going to save that for later, but it is going to come in handy. Resist melee attacks. Weave. Not the best thing in the world, but we'll take it. It'll get some use at some point. Potentially, anyways. And here, editorial, does the First Amendment apply to virtual spaces? April 29th, 2063. Last week, in one of the biggest synchronized police actions in U.S. history, the homes of more than 700 private citizens were raided. More than 500 arrests were made for the crime of, quote, inciting criminal behavior using private informational processes. If you've been paying attention over the past 9 years, you'll know how to parse the above legal word soup. Those raided are accused of participating in a virtual anti-corporate sovereignty rally, this time at the HoloNet headquarters in Sterling, Melkeet. Watching 500 people, many of them bloodied and terrified, hauled from their homes by police SWAT bots is, understandably and rightfully, horrifying to a lot of people, but this is nothing new. As far back as 2054, when the first major arrest of virtual protesters occurred over the occupation of Metallurgic International's holographic customer service center, pundits and courts have engaged in the debate over whether or not the internet constitutes a public space and is therefore legally required to oblige peaceable assembly. Legislation simply hasn't kept up with the advances of the HoloNet, and that's no accident. It serves the interests of the Sterling, Melkeet, and Metallurgic and their corporate ilk to treat the holoscape not as a public space, but, in the words of Metallurgic-backed Senator Gerard O'Neill, quote, an array of privately owned information processes. The same O'Neill, and that's when the data gets corrupted. It looks like I read it just a little bit faster that time. That's okay. But these two guys are now safe.
For a few minutes, anyway.
I'm trying to figure out where the hell they are. There they are.
Oh, you're that brave who was outcast. What are you doing here?
Your friend Den told me to come find you. Why are you up there?
The Sawtooth ripped our packs from us. Me. Us. Without weapons, this was the best we could manage. Thank you so much for destroying it. Now we can get home. One thing, you won't tell anyone you saw us here, will you?
I didn't. At least, not your friend. Need any help getting down?
We'll go back on our own. Don't take this the wrong way, but maybe we shouldn't be seen with you, or they might figure us out.
I like that Aloy can look up to talk to him, but can't look down. He can't look down to talk to us. Anyways, that quest is pretty much done. All we really have to do is go turn it in. And, it's pretty far away, so we're not going to do that quite yet. In fact, I think we're actually going to move on to the main quest. Or at least get started heading in that direction. Yeah, we're already getting pretty far in. So I'm just kind of looking at what I can upgrade, all that stuff. I think we're gonna grab a couple more, like probably one more data point before we move on. There's another little skip. Man, that's getting annoying. I didn't realize how bad it was. I didn't watch all these all the way through. Oh well. Oh, you know what? I do need watcher lenses, so I can get that stealth armor. That's gonna help me quite a bit. So I'm gonna work on getting some of those. I don't want to say I glitched the game out here, but I don't think it was supposed to work that way in any case. We got a heart, which isn't what we wanted. And it looks like this one has a heart as well, which is again not what we wanted, but hey, they sell alright. We'll take the shards. So, for now though, we're gonna kind of just poke around for some data points out in the world. They're kind of hard to find a lot of the time. At least the ones out in the open world are. So usually I end up having a map open up on my computer. I didn't do that beforehand because I wasn't really planning on getting them today. And maybe I will at the start of the next episode, I don't know. But I'm just kind of poking around. I know there's a couple in this area. I'm pretty sure I don't have them. But yeah, they're kind of hidden away and they can be kind of hard to find. Even when they do show up on the mini-map, or on the compass at the top, you do have to be fairly close to actually see them. I thought there was one up by this campfire, and there isn't. Yeah, this is definitely an out. There's some watchers that were aware of me, and keeping in mind that I need watcher lenses for that armor. I wasn't really intending on farming watcher lenses necessarily, but you know, if there's 6 of them in the general area, we might as well kill them. And they don't take much to kill anyways. Those tall necks are pretty cool. They will kill you if you get in their path. If you get up in front of them, they'll absolutely kick you to death. It is not pretty. Knowing me and based on the skill I've demonstrated in this Let's Play so far, I'll probably die to one sooner or later. Oops. I remember getting excited. Ooh, that's green, that's probably a lens, and it's an 8% damage coil. Ah, crap. So, we're gonna move up. There was another one up here. And he's busy scanning out over there, and I feel like we probably have time, so I just straight go for it. Plenty of time. No lens, though. See, that's the last one, and this, I'm trying to take this rope off, but I guess it is just slightly up in the other direction. And unlike Tomb Raider, we don't have anything that allows us to go back up that in the reverse order. Not the reverse order, what the hell am I saying? But in any case,
Clever.
yeah, I was really trying to sneak up the silent strike, and I ended up smacking it to death, which is fine. No lens, but that's okay. I don't even really know what I went up here for. I ended up falling down anyways because I didn't see the gap. Did a sick slide through that though. And I know there's a data point up at this watchtower, so we're gonna grab that real quick. Climate Refugee Museum opens in London. London, May 8th, 2060. Celebrated poet and environmental activist Diego Abela fought back tears today in a speech delivered on the steps of the newly opened Climate Refugee Memorial Museum in London. Quote, I was 19 in 2033 when the waves rose up and swallowed the Azores. The waves swallowed my home. The next decade of my life I would spend behind the walls of the Thamesmead Emergency Relocation Facility, starving at day, freezing at night, contending with scorn, disgust, and abuse from the very people charged to care for me. Abela went on to discuss the still controversial police actions of 2038 and the Thamesmead uprising, and it was an uprising, not a riot, as your hollow pages still call it. I saw men and women crushed beneath the jackboot heel of a panicking power structure. Friends, lovers, I saw them die. My experience is not singular. There were 1,000 Thamesmeads. We must not allow this dark moment in our species' history to become a struggling footnote. Second Chance Party UK Prime Minister Sally Boyer was among the first to tour the new museum. Our nation totally needs this. What climate refugees endured was really bad. It completely deserves a real space museum so we can literally stand in their remembrance and be aware and create a brighter world than what came before. In contrast, opposition candidate Nigel Cairns Bailey of the Fair Chance UK party was fiercely critical of the museum and its spokesperson. More than 1 billion persons perished in the Great Die-Off. Thanks to the generosity of the UK, our generosity, Diego Abela was not one of them. If he so hates the fact that we saved his life and gave him shelter for a decade, I suggest he wend his way down to the Thames and jump in. It's never too late to drown. In fact, I am data corrupted. That Nigel's a fucking real asshole, for sure. And I know this climbing up here, I'm pretty sure this is the only reason to do it, is just this little supply cache. It's not much there. It doesn't really seem to be any more climbing up you can do for anything better. I don't even really know if it was worth it or not. And we are right next to where the quest is that we're gonna do next, but we're already pretty far in, so this is pretty much, we're pretty much just gonna call it. We're gonna head back to the campfire so we can save and have a nice little end point here. I'm sure in my original audio I was talking about something along the way, so it wasn't just me running. But yeah, in any case, I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.